Right, so Sunday we were at Rookery Waters for it's the penultimate round of their winter league, and we went into the day. This was the ninth round. I missed one round, did have a standing, but he didn't do very well. But because I was at the big one, but thanks for filling in. He'd never fished the place before, so I think he was third in section, which wasn't a lot used to me by that stage of it. But again, thanks for us for filling in. Um, we went into the day your best 6 out of 10 count, and I went into the day with 5 wins and a second. So I was anything below a section was no use to me, to be honest. And Jimmy Brooks was currently on the same, but his best dropper was a second, and mine's a third at this stage. So, and he's got a massive weight advantage on me. So I was sort of thinking I'm going to be second with 2 rounds to go. Settle for seconds, good, really, really good payout. So second is still nice. There's a few people, a couple of points behind, so a couple of bad matches, and they were in with a chance. I was hoping to draw. It was on Magpie and Raven. I was hoping to draw Magpie, just because there's a chance of some big weights now. It's warming up, so I could get a bit of weight back if nothing else. But I've drawn on Raven, peg 6. Which is it's just a horseshoe sort of shape. Like it's along the first straight. It's really barren far bank, to be honest. There, some reeds off to your right. The wind was back with a vengeance today, so you weren't going to fish over anyway. And I've not been on this lake since the first round of the league, which was the end of October. So wasn't quite sure what I was going to be doing, if I'm honest. So everyone said 4 foot's been the depth of fishing on that. It's quite a deep lake. It's 7 or 8 foot down the middle, about 14.5 metres wide. You've got a shelf either side. But I fancied fishing in 3 foot or just under, because it is getting a bit milder. There's a little bit of colour in the water. So I've set up to fish maggots on a top 5 at the bottom of the shelf. It was about 7 foot. It was really windy, so I've set a 416 dusty carbon up to sort of fish through the water, but heavy to sit there because it was really windy. It was going to be towing. I have set a couple of shallow rigs up again for it, just in case, because it's deep. They do have a tendency to come up sometimes, and the wind was talking of dying down mid-match, so I've set 2 4x10 dusty carbons up, just with strong number 11s, one at 3 foot, one at 2.5 foot. And then for fishing in 3 foot down the edge, I've set up a 4x12 dusty carbon, just a bulk of number 10s and a number 10 dropper, one number 10 dropper, and then I've set up, in case it was towing really hard, a 414 dusty Titan with a bulk of number 9s and a number 9 dropper, just so it's more stable to just sit there, get in 3 foot. And I've got a bump bar out, and I've plumbed up at 13 metres. I could just about hold it at 13 metres with a bump bar. Didn't really want to do it because presentation wasn't going to be very good, but with a longer line I found the same depth over there. It's just under 3 foot, 2 3/4 foot, which I thought would be a good depth. So they were my lines. I was just going to throw maggots short, throw maggots. I put a little nugget of F1 dart down the edge and throw maggots over it on the top 5 where I could throw maggots down to me right, down to me left side, because the wind was going that way. And that was going to be my match. I did take expanders and micros, and I thought it's too windy for them. I was set up with plenty of time, and I've just put my rig in the deep water, maggot rig, and it's actually sat there really nice. So I've quickly got up, set another rig up for fishing pellets there. Just a 416 dusty Titan, bulk of number 8s and a number 9 dropper. Really positive. The bulk a foot from the hook, or 10 inches from the hook. And a number 9 dropper about 4 inches from it, just for fishing micros, expanders. And I changed my mind. I thought I'm gonna, while I prime my edge up, throw some maggots down there. I'm gonna start on expanders in the deep water. So the match has started on that, and I've caught a carp about £2 first put in. I thought, oh, this is alright. And then I've had 4 or 5 F1s on it before it's not, it's not been right. They were just coming off bottom where you sprinkle them in. I've tried putting little balls of, changed to feeding tiny little balls of micas. You never had a bite doing it. So I thought, no, I need to feed maggots here so I can just fish them through the water a little bit more. So I've gone down the edge and I had 2 big F1s straight away, like £2 a piece, which is good stamping there because there's a lot of little F1s. Then I've started catching the smaller ones. I think after an hour I'd got 12 or 13 F1s, and 3 or 4 of them were good ones, and a carp. Jason to my right had got 4 fish. The other side of me had got 1 fish. I was really happy. It wasn't fishing fantastic at this stage. And then Danny next door to my right, I didn't say, like I say, I was second in the league. Joint third, I had Jason next to me was joint third. Danny the other side of me was joint third, and then Billy Marlowe past him was joint third. So it was a tough section. Billy was on peg 10, which potentially was going to be really dangerous, hard to beat. But we were all decent. It was a decent area, so quite happy with it. Let's say after an hour, he's gone in next door, started catching 1 a bung on maggots, and I thought, right, I've got to have a go here. Dropped in on it, never had a bite. So the edge had sort of fizzled out, couldn't catch down the edge. Then Jason started to catch a few down the edge, and I thought, oh, I've got to go over here. Put the heavier rig on, kindling in maggots across, and it did just about hold there with the bump bar. It wasn't great. I've started to catch an odd F1, a couple of small carp, but Danny was catching 1 a bung now short, and I thought, right, I've got to go short again. This is after about 2 hours. We were all sort of neck and neck by this stage. And I started to get indications on it, but it was just an absolute nightmare. It was constant rain, and they just, I don't know why, they just wouldn't settle. You'd catch one, and then you'd get a liner, and you'd strike, and it'd be about 2 foot deep. So I've tried shallow, caught a couple on it, but 1 minute you get a bite on it, and the next minute you thought, oh, they're on the bottom. You go down on the bottom, get line. It was weird. I've tried shallowing up a foot and fishing like 6 foot deep and 7 foot, never a sign. I just couldn't get going. I kept changing my feed around, and I just wasted so much time on it. I was getting really frustrated, and then Jason next door's gone across and started to catch a few, and I was just getting really annoyed. I thought, why can't I catch these fish? And in all honesty, there just wasn't enough there competition to bring them shallow. You seem to get, when it's a bit cooler, balls of F1s, and Dan next door had obviously got a ball there, and they were feeding. I was getting a few coming to the pen, just couldn't keep them down. Tried brown bait, everything. I just wasted about an hour of my match. The edge wasn't going. I've gone back across and caught an odd one, but it wasn't great. I just knew I wasn't doing it right. And with 2 hours to go, I felt like I was about £20 behind both sides now. I'd say even if I came second in section, it wasn't going to do anything for me. I needed a win. The wind had died down now, so I've got off my box, got a new rig out, and I'd been fishing 8 to 10 slick, nice 011 bottoms, sensible fishing, like winter fishing. I've got off my box, got a shortcut out with 10 to 12 in, put a proper summer rig, 020 down to sort of 13. You put a Rookery Titan on this time, a 414, got another section of pole out. I thought, I've got to catch some carp here. I need to catch carp. So I've put that on, put another section on, gone right across in 14.5 metres. Straight in front of me, there's about a foot deep, and I thought, I'm not going to catch in that today. But slightly off to my right, I found it was just under 2 foot, and I thought, I can catch some carp there, I hope. It's mild, they're starting to feed, there's a bit of colour in the water. So I've gone across on that, tapped some pellets in, had a £3 carp straight away. Gone out again, caught another one about £2, and then I've had a big F1 on it, and I thought, I'm fishing in the right depth. I knew I'd been doing it wrong. So I've quickly plumbed up down the edge to try and find the same depth. I couldn't find it down to my left where I'd been fishing. And there was a tree in the water the other side of me, and I found quite nearly tight to the bank the same depth. So I've put a big pot of maggots and ground bait down there. Thought I'd try and catch some carp there. Gone back across, caught a few more F1s. It was never solid, but I was putting fish in the net now, and there were quite a few carp as well. But I needed to give it a little rest, so I've fed a few more pellets. Gone down the edge, just fishing 3 maggots. Caught a couple of carp. It wasn't very easy to get them out. You had to be really quick because you were right in the tree. But it rested the far line, and then with 3/4 of an hour to go, I've gone back over. Just started just with the smallest toss pot full of. I've stopped sprinkling them in. I've just clumped them in, so I could be really quick shipping out. Dropping a little ball in and such. I started to catch really, really well. All like 2 to 4 pound carp, one every put in almost. And I started. Then they went again. I've started just to put a tiny bit of ground bait in the top of the toss pot. Put that in, and I've changed to still feeding micros with it as well. Not a lot of bait. There's probably 30 micros in there. Changed to fishing 3 red maggots on there, and the last half hour I've caught what I just couldn't get in quick enough. I thought I might have caught them up here, but I wasn't so sure. I thought Danny would have £100 next door because he was netting fish all day. And then I went to see Jason weigh in. He's weighed £81. I thought, oh no, not the result I needed. I've pulled my nets out and I've actually weighed £99.14. And down the other side's only weighed it's great winter fishing, but £74. He'd been catching F1s all day, but I couldn't actually see him through the tree very well, and they were actually quite small F1s. So I actually ended up winning my section and winning the lake, which was nice little pickup. Jason was second with 81, so it was actually a really good day. The last 2 hours, I wish I'd have done it sooner, but thankfully we dodged a bit of a bullet. Jimmy's not had such a good day, so I'm now the first one with a perfect 6 points, and with it being your best 6, and then if it's a tie it goes down to your best dropper. So if I win my section next week, I can't be beaten and I've won the league, so it's in my hands now, which is nice. Still need a draw, but it's fishing really well now. There's a lot of feeding fish to be caught, so you can try and make things happen. There's always a few things you do differently. Obviously I would have gone across a bit sooner, as soon as the wind had allowed. And I think my problem with the short line was, so I don't think there was as many there as there were next door, but I think my rig was too heavy, in all honesty. Where I've set up a 416 for when it was really windy, once the wind's dropped, even in the 7 foot of water, like a 4x12, so I could hold it and let the baits fall really slowly past them, would have caught me some more fish. So it's a lesson learnt for in future. I'll definitely set that up. But all in all, a really nice day. This weekend we are back on the Fishermania Trail. My local decoy this time. It is definitely going ahead. I've just had the email. There's a few changes to the draw and things with all the coronavirus, but it's still going ahead. Nice to see the matches are still going ahead. People are being sensible about it and changing a few things around how you draw, so you're not interacting so much, but life does go on, and it seems to be, which is good. Sunday I've booked in again at Decoy, but I'm thinking I'm actually going to have a bit of a road trip and do the golden reel up at Woodlands View. I've not been there for years and years, but I think that could be where I'm heading Sunday, so I shall get back to you on Monday with hopefully some better news of some qualifiers. But until then, thanks again for watching. I have also been asked to do a little video about matrix poles. It's not something I want to be doing too often, if I'm honest, like blatantly doing my sponsors' products, but I was on worked on the pole alley on the big one 2 weeks ago, so while it's fresh in my head, the whole range, I will do a quick little video. And that's it. Again, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you next week.